Hey Wyatt, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
I feel like our chair will be answering to the pitch clock tonight.
Y'all catching the Blue Jays game after this?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
There you go.
Okay, we are live. We're ready to go whenever you are, Mr. Chair.
Hi everybody. So this meeting is being live streamed, recorded, and available on the internet by visiting the county's website at www.county.ca. This meeting will be conducted as a virtual electronic meeting in accordance with the county's procedural bylaw. Item number 2 is confirmation of the agenda. Can I have a motion? Okay, Bill, can I have a seconder?
I'll do that.
Okay, Jackie, all in favor? And that's carried. So do you want to read it, Bill?
I can, that the agenda for the Agriculture Advisory Committee meeting of October 27, 2025 be confirmed.
All in favor? Thanks, everyone. Okay, so disclosure of pecuniary interests and the general nature thereof. And there's none on record. Has anybody got anything to say? Nope. Okay. We'll move on. Minutes from the previous meeting. Somebody want to approve that? John? Can I have a seconder? Bill? Okay. John, do you want to read it?
Okay. That the minutes of the Agricultural Advisory Committee met held on April 7th, 2025 be adopted as presented.
All in favor? Again, that's carried. Thank you. Deputation. So we have a deputation from Salvatore from the Eastern Ontario Farmland Protection Coordinator regarding the Ontario Farmland Trust. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'll just pull my presentation up here. Here we go. Just confirming that you can see the correct screen.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Jenna Salvatore, and I'm the Eastern Ontario Farmland Protection Coordinator with the Ontario Farmland Trust. I'm just here to share some information with you about who we are, what we do, and hopefully inspire this group to consider new ways of supporting the Agricultural Committee in Prince Edward County. I reside here in Carrying Place, so I'm aware of the many threats facing farmland in our community. Yeah, let's see. So the Ontario Farmland Trust is the only province-wide land trust with a mission dedicated to the protection of farmland and its associated agricultural, natural, and cultural features. Our organization was created in 2004 after researchers from the University of Guelph identified the alarming rates in which Ontario was losing its farmland. Farmland protection is one of our key program areas. Over the last 20 years, we've protected 28 properties across Ontario using farmland conservation easements, and we are working with another 8 landowners this year alone to protect their properties. We also have a property that we own just north of Kincardine, and we are in conversations with 9 other landowners interested in donating their farm to Ontario Farmland Trust. Education and community engagement is the other main program area. Through this, we educate policymakers, landowners, community members, researchers, and other stakeholders about the threats facing the ag community and empower them to engage in meaningful change. We are currently working on our Eastern Ontario strategy and looking to work with local government and conservation groups to identify high priority areas for protection. We would love for this group to encourage municipal councils to work closely and collaborate with the Ontario Farmland Trust to ensure farmland protection. So I'm sure many of you are aware of the issues around the loss of farmland in Ontario, but just to highlight some points. So right now, Ontario loses 319 acres of farmland every day, according to the 2021 Census of Agriculture. Over the last 20 years, we have lost nearly 2 million acres of farmland. We are trying to address a certain number of challenges. Of course, farmland loss is the main point, but there are many other factors that influence farmland loss, such as the lack of agricultural knowledge in land use planning and land use workers working for our municipalities. Competing land uses such as urbanization, aggregate extraction, and energy production. Increasing land prices, fewer larger farms, where the average farm now is 250 acres, and aging demographics. So the Farmers Wanted report by Guelph and RBC informed us that 40% of farmers are set to retire within the next 10 years, and 66% do not have a succession plan in place. So looking at Prince Edward County specifically, Prince Edward County has seen a decrease of just over 7,000 acres or 8% in cropland from 2011 to 2021. And when you look at just the total loss of farmland, so not just land and crop production, but also pasture land, hayfields, that number jumps and we see a decrease of 19,800 acres or 15% in the same time period. If we look at the change in just the last 5 years between 2016 and 2021, Prince Edward County lost 3,000 acres each year, a very unsustainable rate of farmland loss that needs to be addressed. And here we see the increasing cost of farmland in Prince Edward County. In this chart, you'll see that the value of farmland in the county has increased by 527% from 1991 to 2021. For someone wanting to start farming compared to 30 years ago, the cost to acquire land is substantially different, creating significant barriers for new and young farmers to get into agriculture. So how are we addressing this? What are we doing? There's various tools for land protection. First is federal and provincial parks, provincial policies and plans, municipal official plans, and then there's a fourth option, which is land trusts. So land trusts are a growing player in this province and across Canada. Our main purpose is to conserve land for either nature or agricultural uses, or in our case, both. And as a nonprofit, land trusts have an elected board of directors that oversees the governance of the organization. We have strict government rules on reporting our activities as well. Our finances are audited annually. And there is the Canadian Land Trust Standards and Practices, which provide a good guiding framework for the ethically conduct and best practices for land trusts to ensure the intended long-term protection of the land we are entrusted to protect. So we protect land, by accepting donation of land, either while the landowner is living and they can remain on the property, or some farmers or landowners leave it to land trusts in their will. And we also use conservation easement agreements, which is our main form of protection, which I'll be touching on a little bit next. So farmland easement agreements or conservation easement agreements are private legal contracts that are negotiated between property owners and OFT and then registered on the property title. So these agreements run on the land and with the land and apply to all future owners. It can only be modified with the approval from the Minister of Natural Resources with proof that the changes will strengthen the protection of the property. Farmland easement agreements contain provisions developed cooperatively between farmland owners and OFT, and these provisions can limit or restrict land uses that aren't compatible with agriculture. So the easements supersedes municipal and provincial land use planning designations and ensure that any future non-agricultural use remains prohibited because of the permanent easement that's on the title. Farmland owners continue to own their land and they maintain their right to sell the land or pass it on to the next generation. Easement agreements do not restrict normal farm practices and are designed to support a wide range of farm types and agricultural uses. Every farm property, farm business, and family situation is very different. And for these reasons, no two easements are identical. So with each easement agreement will be tailored to the land protection interests and needs of the individual farmland owner. And lastly, there are tax benefits and some financial considerations with easements. So farmland owners are compensated with a charitable tax receipt from the Ontario Farmland Trust for the difference between the property's fair market value before the easement is in place and the fair market value after the easement has been registered, as determined by a qualified appraiser. The easement value is then treated as a charitable donation to OFT. And here I have a map of our properties. So the red tractors there represent the protected properties, and the blue circles represent the projects that are in the final stages of protection. This map does need to be updated as we have a couple new properties that just closed in the past month. So far OFT has protected over 2,700 acres of farmland on 28 properties, and 7 of these protected parcels are in Prince Edward County. And there are 4 more other parcels that are almost completed in the county, and we expect to be finalized and registered within the next few months. So in addition to providing fresh local food, these farms also provide habitat to 17 different provincially listed species at risk. So one of our main goals is to develop a collaborative multi-stakeholder approach to creating local farmland preserves through a concentration of protected properties. So when multiple farms are protected through easements, it creates a cluster of protected farmland. So in this diagram, you'll see 2 layers of protection for agricultural land. We have the black circle here, which is the policy area in municipal official plans. And then the green circles are properties with conservation easement agreements in place. And you'll see in this diagram that even without the municipal policies, that land is still protected through easements. So lastly, I just wanted to highlight that Ontario Farmland Trust is currently working on a farmland access program. The last thing we want is for us to have a bunch of protected properties with no one to farm them. Without farmers, we don't have farmland, and therefore land access is an important part of OFT's strategy to ensure farmland remains as such. As I mentioned earlier, OFT has received its first donation of farmland in the Kincardine area. And we are also in discussions with other landowners who are interested in donating their properties to OFT. So given that there's this critical stage of farmers set to retire, ensuring that there's a land access program at OFT will attract more landowners to consider land donations to our trust and thereby protecting more farmland in perpetuity. And that's it. That's the highlight. So thank you so much for listening. And on behalf of Ontario Farmland Trust, we look forward to any future opportunities to collaborate.
Well, thanks, Jenna. Does anybody have any questions for Jenna?
No, but I just want to say the whole process of getting the farm protected went very well for me because my land is now Ontario Farmland protected, and it was a almost seamless process, and yay.
Great, thank you. Good to see you on here, Dee.
Could you say again how many farms you said were protected in Prince Edward County already?
There are 7 parcels.
7 parcels.
Yep. Yeah, so it's 3 different landowners.
Gotcha.
Yep. And there are 4 parcels that are the easement should be registered, I assume, in the next 4 months. There's always delays, but should be wrapped up soon.
And is there like a separate like process for each individual parcel through and throughout, or is it one owner, one blanket coverage there typically? How does that work?
So the parcels are registered separately, but the tax receipt will be given for the value of all 3 parcels. So we have an appraiser come and do the valuation for all 3 parcels, and some of the processes are the same, and then There's also, which I didn't touch on, but there's the Ecological Gifts Program through Environment and Climate Change Canada, and we would look at each parcel separately for that. So that's looking for specific species at risk and other important natural features.
Are you working with the conservation networks to sort of prioritize certain areas, or are you just like any farmland at this point is you're happy to help cover that way?
We have our own prioritization tool that we bring to like the committee. There's actually a list of inquiries right now. I believe it's at 50 inquiries across Ontario. So we have our own ranking system. You know, the size of the land comes into play, if it has any natural features, the location, if it's in a priority area. But we don't have any limits on the size of the parcel or anything. We accept them all and review them and bring them to the committee for review.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Anybody else? Jenna, what's roughly it costs to do this to the farmer?
For the farmer, so all the costs are covered by OFT other than the farmer's own legal advice and financial advice. So we highly recommend that the farmer would seek legal counsel to review their agreement. But otherwise, all the costs are covered by OFT. We choose the properties a year in advance with the committee, and then we do the fundraising for the property. So anywhere between $60,000 and $80,000 after the survey, the appraisal, the visits, staff time, etc. But again, that's all covered by OFT funds.
Okay, great, thanks. Anybody else? Okay, so can I get someone to receive Jenna's deputation? Bill, seconded by Sam. Bill, read it.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. That's a deputation by Jenna Salvador, Eastern Ontario Farmland Protection Coordinator regarding the Ontario Farmland Trust be received.
All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Jenna.
Yeah, thanks for the good work.
Thank you.
Okay, announcements. We don't have any, do we? Ben?
No, I don't have any. If the committee members
Okay.
do.
Number 7, comments from the audience.
None of those either. Well, we have Councillor McNaughton here who is going to speak about item 8.2. It's up to, do you want to speak now, Councillor, or do you want to just fold it into the conversation?
I would leave that up to the chair. It's his meeting. So
Oh, you speak now, Kate, if you want.
sure, and I'll stick around in case you want. So I'm here to speak to item 8.2 regarding the food, the Bill 21 Protect Our Food Act. And I did actually send a bit of a dummy motion or a dummy resolution to Ben, because in case you want to consider a resolution to go forward to council tonight. And it could be tailored after the fact. I just wanted to say that that the Environmental Advisory Committee is waiting for the Agriculture Committee Advisory Committee's guidance on this, and if it's something that you would want to present solo from the Ag Committee, of course we would support that. But if it helps for us to pass a similar resolution, whatever you would want to do, I think we would take under strong advisement. And would support that. And if anyone doesn't know, I'm the chair of the Environmental Advisory Committee. And I think I know everyone. Hi, everyone. And yeah, so I'm at your disposal. If you want me to stick around, I can do that and just turn off my mic and my camera and be available for the discussion if needs be. And you can certainly, the language that I've provided to Ben is just like a jumping off point, and it certainly would not need to be that language. And that's all.
Okay. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks for having me. Bye for now.
Okay, so 8.1, business retention and
Sorry.
expansion.
Mr. Chair, we'll just need a motion to receive the comment.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
I would so move that we
Okay, John, can I have a seconder? Hey, Dee, thanks. All in favor? Done. Okay, so 8-1, hi Karen, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Okay, business retention and expansion survey.
So every year we undertake a survey in the community. This year we're doing one on the professional services sector. Last year we did one on trades and construction. The year before that it was kind of an all sector online. How is everyone doing post-pandemic? Next year I'm hoping to do a survey in the agricultural community. I had planned, according to the schedule in the Economic Development Action Plan, to take on hospitality and arts and culture. But given that hospitality's had a pretty good year this past summer, I think it feels more urgent to maybe take a look at agriculture. I was speaking with Bob about other things, and I thought it might be a good idea to sort of bring this to the committee, and I was hoping that maybe you might suggest someone to join a small informal working group to help me sort of finalize questions and approach. So I will just say that this is an OMAFA tool that we have modified greatly in the last few years. On its own, it has about 100 questions in the survey, and that can take 90 minutes to 2 hours to go through on an individual basis. So in the interest of time, we've kind of shortened things down. This year we did an online survey followed by focus groups, followed by one-on-one interviews for people we didn't manage to catch. So really we can customize this to however might work. I'm particularly interested, I've already spoken with Racy Walt about this. She mentioned the zoning bylaw and how that might impact folks or what still might need fine tuning in some people's minds. I'm interested in the port. I think it would do us well to be thinking about how we leverage that and what we think about is happening in agriculture and how we might build a little bit of an ecosystem there. Jenna just mentioned succession, and that's super interesting to me too in terms of where we're at with that. I spoke at committee last week and talked a bit about grape growing. So this will be another chance to maybe dive into that a little bit more. And then we can get into things like agri-tech, agritourism, events. And I sort of am picturing a little committee of, say, someone from this advisory group, maybe Racy. I was talking with Patty Stacey the other day from the Soil and Crop Association, maybe somebody from the Winemakers Association, and then if there's an interested party from the Picton Farmers Market or junior farmers or anything like that, I'd be happy to have them contribute in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to stop talking and just ask if you have any questions, if there's any more information you'd like. I'm really hoping to work more closely with one person, but I'm happy to come back to the committee if you want to have time to think about it, whatever you like.
Thanks, Karen. So full disclosure, I was chosen from the Prince Edward Federation of Agriculture to sit on this committee. And I can wear all kinds of hats, but at the end of the day, if anybody from the Ag Advisory is interested in also sitting on this with us, that'd be great. So no pressure, just it's just another opportunity to have agriculture up front and be part of the talking points for a change.
Also, full disclosure, Phil and I also as council members, there's 2 members of council already on there. So if somebody else wants to have the opportunity.
I will just clarify. This is not for the Economic Development Working Group, although I'd welcome somebody from the advisory committee to come to those anytime. This is actually for a small, not formal, small W, small G working group specifically on the business retention and expansion. And actually, I would need your help before the end of the year. So the Economic Working Group won't start till January, but this I'll be calling a couple meetings before in November and December, because I'm hoping to start the BRNE process in January, when all the farmers are presumably just looking through seed catalogs and taking it easy, right? Isn't that what happens?
So Karen, would this, sorry, Mr. Chair, but would this be a good committee for you to kind of be on? Like, I don't want to put more on your plate, but I just wonder if this would be a good role into the economic development. If you're in this working group with Karen, like, is that kind of what you're seeing, Karen? Like, would that make sense? Like,
Certainly
if Bob's
works. Yep.
willing to sit on it, then he can roll right into the economic development, and we have some continuity through there. That would be my suggestion if Bob's willing.
What are you getting me into now, Phil?
The small W, small G that Karen has promised that will be done by the end of the year before you start your big roll on economic development.
So you get to the capital W, capital G one. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Great.
So, anybody else want in?
If you need an extra hand, I don't mind helping.
Great.
When are these meetings held, Karen?
There is no set thing. I think what I might do is set around a doodle poll and just figure out whether people are better during the working day or weekends or evenings or mornings. They'll likely be virtual unless people happen to be in Picton for any reason.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, no other questions?
No, I think I'd be interested in potentially joining that as well. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Small group, small working group or large working group?
Not a small working group. I am a full-time
great.
college student at the moment as well, so just juggling that. But I think I could. Yeah. So, but I think we're great.
Great.
Well, Karen, will be, and this group will be able to reach out to everybody.
Right.
Yeah, this is not an exclusive club. No.
Nope. No.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you. And maybe what I'll do is I'll send some emails through Ben, and then we'll get better connected and we'll go from there.
Great. If nobody else has any questions?
No.
Wyatt? Nope.
No, all good.
Thanks again, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay, so I need a motion to receive Karen's discussions or the discussion.
I can move it, Mr. Chair.
Okay, can I have a seconder? Okay, thanks, Sam. Ben, do we need it read?
No, that's fine. I can read it, that the Agricultural Advisory Committee's discussion regarding the Business Retention and Expansion Survey Agriculture be received.
And everyone's in favor? That's scary. Thank you. Okay, 8.2, Bill 21, Protect Our Food Act, 2025. So what's everybody's thoughts about this? Jackie? Oh. Does anybody have any thoughts about that?
Okay. I'm quite in favor of it. I think it has had a lot of good thought and people working on it. It's far from the opposition side of things, great. But I think any support that would add to it is fine. Probably called for it.
I'm having trouble hearing you, John.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's you or me.
Okay.
I'm having trouble hearing too.
Okay. Is my voice a little better now? Am I speaking?
Yep.
Yep.
Very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Chair,
I
I have the draft language that Councillor McNaughton prepared. I can share. on my screen here. One moment. Where is it? Okay. Can you see that? Oh,
Nope.
there we go. Oh, hang on.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the language of that.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that either.
I
Chair,
really like it.
I like it too.
Sounds
It-
good.
it's Kate speaking. Do you mind if I just enter into the conversation just a little, even though I'm not a committee member?
Sure.
Thanks everyone. I just thought one of the stats from the presentation from I can't remember her name, Ms. Salvatore.
Jana.
Jana, thank you. The Prince Edward County alone loses 3,000 acres a year. I think that's a worthy stat to include in the whereas clauses, and I would just put that out.
Yeah, to include that, because that number was surprising to me. It's disturbing.
If you dig down into the numbers for Prince Edward County, it's all crazy. Like the number of severances, we are the highest number of severances in the entire province. Like by a lot.
In a rural area?
Well, yeah.
I don't think it's surprising considering the land values as they've jumped up.
Well, land values here, Kate, in comparison to what they're paying in Western Ontario. I mean, here it's, I don't know, 10,000, 12,000 an
Right.
acre. Up there, that's up to 40 and more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm out in Chatham, Kent area currently, and it's around $35,000 to $40,000 an acre out in this neck of the woods.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So and we have people, farmers up there who can't get land to expand their operations, and so they're moving to the county. And not only here, though, they're also going to Renfrew and other places.
I heard their last name was Branderhorst.
Hey?
Infiltrators from the west.
Yes.
That you're not. No, not at all. You're a solid member of my community.
Okay. I might be, but not my in-laws.
Okay?
They're the trash.
She's not wrong.
Anyway,
Yes,
so as this is written, is everybody okay with it?
I'm sorry, I had an internet issue. Could you please read it again? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, just, okay. Whereas arable land is a critical finite resource, and whereas Ontario has lost 2.8 million acres of farmland in the last 3 decades, and whereas Ontario loses as much as 319 acres a day to development, and whereas, well, actually, I think we need to change that. It's not just development.
You could probably massage the language with Ben to correct
Yeah.
any this is not my area of expertise. So please correct it at will.
How do we word this? Because it's
Non-farm basis.
Just
yeah.
leave it at day.
You can just acres of farmland.
Yeah, because it's not just development, it's extraction, it's all
extraction.
kinds of other things, so.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, so back, whereas Ontario loses as much as 319 acres of farmland a day. And whereas Prince Edward County loses,
I missed that number. We'll have to go back, or if you recall what the number was.
I believe it was 3,000.
I heard 3,000. Is that accurate?
Is that a year? Is that
That's the year.
Yeah, that's
okay, and
Prince Edward County farmland was 2016 to 2021 was 3,000 acres a year.
Thank you, Councillor.
okay, and whereas Ontario farmland provides food, fiber, and fuel, 12 Ontario and beyond, therefore be resolved that the County of Prince Edward supports Bill 21. Protect Our Food Act 2025 and strongly urges the provincial government to support this and every measure to protect our farmland, to aggressively prevent future losses, to ensure the future of agriculture in Ontario for further generations, and that this resolution be sent to obviously the Premier of Ontario, right?
Yeah, these are often sent to the appropriate minister, the appropriate federations.
I think
Yeah.
we could probably leave that blank, and Ben could fill it out, and
Yeah,
be like Trevor Jones.
pretty
the
much
provincial-
from wherever it's sent.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
So,
Yeah.
so is everybody, send it to the whole cabinet.
Will this be sent to the municipal council of Prince Edward County as well for them to look over and send something in as well, or does that just?
Well,
This will be on our minutes.
This is our recommendation that council does this.
Gotcha. Okay, I see. Gotcha.
And then
So-
council will formalize it and then send it on behalf of, like, through the minute process,
Okay.
through the accepting of our minutes, and then we'll send it on behalf of this committee.
Right. Gotcha.
But that's a good clarification.
But I mean, conceivably, you could send this, you could get permission to send the committee's version as well. But this one, the way it's written, is to forward to council for council to forward it.
I like it that way anyways. I think it's stick with that way, but I agree with this fully.
Yeah, let clerks touch it up if they have to, all right?
Yep.
Okay, so what do we gotta do with this here?
Well, I would make the motion of approval if that's time for that.
Okay, can I have a seconder for that? Thanks, Sam. Okay, so all in favor? That's carried. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Kate.
Okay, item 8.3, planning file Z 24-24, zoning bylaw amendment, 3131 Victoria Road, Millersburg. So,
Mr. Chair, I'll just jump in to alert you that Stuart Cade from Planning is here in the meeting as well. I alerted him that these were on the agenda, so if there were any questions, Stuart's here and available.
well, the working group, part of the agenda package was our comment.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that was fairly straightforward. Anybody,
Right.
Anybody have anything to say or concerns?
Well, I read over the stuff, and my concern was expansion, because they're always going to need more parking, and then they're going to look at accommodation, and it's just going to, I drove past the property a few times, so to say it's not a good idea is a good idea.
Anyone else? I mean, my comments were pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
That area has been livestock driven for a long time. There's some farms in the immediate proximity that have invested heavily in infrastructure. And quite frankly, there's already so many events venues that are struggling to make a living. It's just I don't know. I don't see it, but anyway.
Agreed.
Jackie, I see you nod your head. Do you have something?
No, I agree 120%.
Okay. So I guess we've hashed this out. So can I have somebody to accept this?
I can share.
Okay, and seconded by Phil. Somebody, Ben, you gonna read it?
The Agricultural Advisory Committee endorsed the submission by the Planning Working Group regarding planning file Z24-24 zoning bylaw amendment 3131 Victoria Road, Ameliasburg.
And everybody in favor? And that carries. Thank you. Okay, so now we're on to 8.4, planning file B23-25-Z4-25, consent rezoning application for Fair Acres Farms Limited, Bloomfield, Hallowell. So I guess, Ben, you don't have a copy of my email I sent yesterday?
I can pull it up. It yeah, it went out after the agenda was published, so
Yeah.
Give me one moment here.
Hi, Mr. Chair, if I can have the floor for a sec.
Sure.
I asked about this property thinking it was another severance, and I believe it was Stuart who replied to my email. And I guess the way they're getting around it is not a severance, it's just a lot line adjustment. So that's how they're getting around it. They're not severing a piece off, they're moving lot lines. So I did ask about this because I was just trying to protect, but that's how they're getting around this what I call a severance, but it's just a lot line adjustment.
That is correct. Yeah, it's a lot addition, not a severance. So there's going to be no new lots, no building lots. Anyways, one lot is just getting a lot larger than the other lot.
Now I can't get my head around that.
So is farmland being lost in the process?
The house has been moved. The house has been moved to a corner piece of the property. So yes, I would say 2 acres by the time they get done the severance or lot line adjustments. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry. But the house is already there.
Yeah, but okay, so but there it's a lot of record, right? And so everybody's entitled to a building permit on a lot of record. But now all of a sudden they're trying to separate it. So that's, to me, that's a severance. And so what's the purpose of, why are they severing?
Sorry, just to clarify, so there's 2 parcels of roughly equal area. One of them has a house on it already. What the proposal is to basically create a situation where there's going to be a parcel that is about like an acre, 2 acres large, that just has the house, and then consolidate the farmland. And that's the part that's being added to the other large farm parcel. If that clears things up.
Well, except it's not being added to because there's an unopened road allowance between that and the remaining farmland.
No, sorry. The parcel is along Gilead Road. The parcel is between Gilead Road and the road unopened road allowance. It's further
Yeah,
to
it's-
the east of the parcel.
Yeah, it is um, the north piece of what would have been the original road allowance, or the original lot that was part of Town Line's original farm problem. So, okay, so what's the justification of them moving the lot line?
The applicant has stated that their justification is to consolidate the farmland, leaving the house on the other parcel. And they have stated that it's not creating a new building lot or not creating a new lot at period. So that's their justification for why it conforms with policy.
So are they planning on, well, first of all, so the house isn't, the house is a new build. It's only been, it's just being basically completed. So it doesn't even meet the 10-year criteria for severance. Item number 4.2.3, item A8. It says that you don't get to sever a lot off of farmland due to consolidation if it's not 10 years old or older.
Yeah, that is correct. It doesn't meet the criteria for like a surplus dwelling severance as a result of farm consolidation.
So they're not going to sell this house?
I don't know what their intentions are for the house. To be honest with you, that hasn't been something that's been communicated to me from the applicant.
Like I said, my thoughts are this is quasi road line development, and they just keep chipping away at our prime farmland. That was, Jackie, you were in agreement with that as well?
Definitely. I'm a little confused. So they've moved the house, and was there approval granted for that, or can you just move a house around on your property?
Yeah, as I understand it, the house was moved from another property. According through a building permit, they had the proper approvals for this, and it was recently put on the property as of fairly recently, within the last 5 years.
Okay.
Anyway.
So yeah, Stuart's right. They moved the house about 2 years ago, put it on the corner of Gilead and County Road 2.
Right.
Just north of the processing plant. And now they're finishing the house. So I've applied for lot line adjustments.
Anyway, so the end of the story is John saw it both ways. That it would be possibly better to allow this as opposed to have a tenant farming somebody else's land. Jackie and I are on the same page, and so that was my response back to planning.
Okay, thank you very much.
We these kind of discussions need to be happening before the building permits are approved. We're losing so much, and they put that item 8A in there to try and stop this kind of uncontrolled development, and I mean, the house is already there, and our chances of getting this severance stopped was probably next to zero. But we have to make a statement.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to say, for sure.
If we don't stand up for agriculture, nobody else is going to. And the amount of this stuff that's been going on in the last 10 years is kind of crazy. And this is what leads us to these huge numbers um, when they announced them all last year at OFA's AGM, like it was jaw dropping, and it's like nobody is saying no, nobody is standing up and being counted, and I'm sorry, I think it's time that we better start doing it.
Yes, we need to. Agreed.
Yeah, I will say as well, planning hasn't made a final decision on this file yet. We haven't reached a point where we're ready to make a recommendation to the planning committee. So like, it's not this application is not a foregone conclusion either.
Well, thanks, Stuart. I appreciate you coming, and I know you're probably anxious to get to the ball game, just like most people. So what do we need to do with this, Ben?
Well, at the very least, you need to receive the discussion. If you want to entertain a different motion to put on the record that you don't approve of it, then we could put a motion.
Could we receive it and then you could share Bob's email that didn't make the agenda, or add it to the agenda after?
Absolutely, I will. And Stuart is in receipt of it as well. He was copied on it, but I will make it part of the agenda, so that Bob's points therein become part of the public record.
That's what I would think. So we'll just receive it, and then our planning working group has made comments, so we'll accept them as that. So I can move that, Mr. Chair.
Okay, can we have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Okay, thanks, Jackie. You're gonna
That
read
the
it again?
Agriculture Advisory Committee's discussion regarding planning file B23-25 and Z4-25 consent and rezoning application, Fair Acres Farms Limited, Bloomfield Hollow, will be received.
All in favor? That carries. Okay, thanks, everyone.
And Chair, just before this item, I have to dip out of the meeting at this time, if that's okay.
Yep, that's fine, Sam. Thanks for coming.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, 8.5, our working plan. You're gonna put that up, Ben?
Yeah, one moment.
Yep.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
So Ben and I were talking about trying to figure out, because we're coming into our last year of this term, what things that the group wants to accomplish. What things do we need to get finished up in this upcoming year? So my personal pet peeves are the noxious weed issue, and the other is that putting the finishing touches on the sharing the road sign. What does everybody else think? What do you want to? What would you like us to get accomplished? Dee?
I was just humming. Is there anything that we can do to, as you said before, stand up for against the loss of farmland? Like, I don't know. I mean, besides going to all the planning meetings and saying, don't build on farmland.
I don't know. If I had the answer for that, we'd already be doing it.
Yeah. Yes.
we've got new planning staff. My understanding is anyway that there's a new head of planning and that everybody seems to be thinking that these are positive steps forward, and so I don't know. I'm hopeful. I mean, we just the whole planning process got such a knock with provincial government's changes.
Yeah.
And it just had everybody on the back foot, and planning staff have and not only them, but all the bylaws that had to be changed and stuff to accommodate all this stuff. It's really put the municipalities in a tough spot, and councillors and everybody else, and I don't know. I think we just have to be diligent and as the farming community, keep your ear to the ground, and if you hear something that you think that the community needs to know, then we have to be our own advocates, right?
Yeah.
And whether it's the farming industry or whether it's our healthcare system, we have to start looking out for ourselves. And not that I'm ever been what you'd call an activist or anything like that, but it's going to have to start with us, Dee. It is, I think. And
Well, I will continue to go to planning meetings and speak against subdivisions and severances as I have in the past. It's like, oh, here she comes again.
That's okay. You just keep putting a thorn in their side.
Yep, I will. I'll be the squeaky wheel.
Why?
Yeah, I was thinking more about the that of course, and then the slow moving vehicle signage. So that was for the provincial roads. Like I think that was 62, and then oh shoot, was it 33?
It's
Gotcha.
just the two remaining ones, one at Rossmore and the one at Glenora.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
And Ben got me the application, and I'll tell you, it would be a whole lot easier if Bob Rogers was trying to put the sign up.
Gotcha.
But it's not. It's a municipality, and yet the application form has you're either commercial or you're private, and
right.
And anyway, we're going to work on it, and we'll get this all straight around. All the other part of it, the pictures, the location maps are all done, as well as the narrative as to how we got where we're at is all done. All we got to do is fill in the paper, and Troy assured me that if we get this approved, that he'll find the funding for it. So, that's great. I just I want this done.
Yeah. Does
I think I'd like to just see that whole work plan keep moving forward, Bob. I honestly think that we'll get done what we can get done, and maybe some of us will be back on this next time to carry it forward what we don't get done. But I think if we start crossing stuff off after we've made such an effort, that's not good either. So I'd like to just keep moving it all forward, and hopefully, in the next 6 or 8 months, we do have some of the stuff done. So that's the way I would see it.
Well, no, that's great. Oh, you got company, Dee.
An irritating company.
Yeah, that's what cats do best. Anyway, okay. Anybody else on the work plan?
No.
Anybody have anything they want to add to the work?
I agree with Phil that we should continue moving forward with everything. I was at a Guardian Network workshop in September, and I think it was September. Time flies. Interestingly enough, I think that we have been advocating for mental health in Prince Edward County at a good rate, in that they have had a significant increase of Prince Edward County, or individuals from the Prince Edward County agricultural industry become involved and utilize the counseling.
Yeah, and I still think we're still getting some funding through the Prince Edward Federation, are we not, John? John, yeah.
That was, I think that was coming to, I'm not sure, it already ended. Because it
Well,
wasn't
it had, but they were, I thought they had said that we, if it was needed, that it would be extended.
well, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, no, Jackie, it was a good program, and we got lots of support from the Bay of Quinte, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, good stuff. Okay. So, nothing else to add? Okay, can I get somebody to receive our work plan? Thanks, Phil. Seconder? Wyatt, thanks. Okay, all in favor? Okay, that's carried. So 8.6 is our 2026 schedule of meetings. So
I'm going to jump in, Mr. Chair, if I may jump in briefly here to discuss this. The terms of reference for the committee, all the committees, specify sort of a minimum number of meetings each year, and for the Agriculture Committee, Advisory Committee, it's 4 meetings per year. Now, we're always conscious of the schedules of farmers and such, and we don't schedule these meetings in the summertime. So we have front-loaded the meetings into the calendar year. The committee system sort of winds up usually by about July, leading into the year of a municipal election. So we always sort of try to wrap the committee work up by then. So we have scheduled meetings January, February, March, and April. If that is a much tighter frame than this committee has done over the last 3 years. So that could be subject to change if you find that that schedule is too much, too tight. You know, the committee has the option of, we can look for alternate dates. But this was part of the schedule that was approved by council last month. So it's really just offered here for your information.
And the other part is that the chair can always add a meeting if something comes up that requires our attention.
Mm-hmm. And the chair could also, if there's not enough for a meeting, the chair could also decide to cancel a meeting and postpone it to the following month. So
The power of our chairman.
Okay, well, we won't even go there. Okay, so so somebody needs to receive this.
I can keep us moving, Bob.
Hey, thanks, Phil. Seconder?
That the
Okay, all in favor? Thanks. Jerry. Okay, so our next meeting is our item 9.1. Our next meeting is December 15th. And Ben, is that our in-person?
we did that one in April.
Okay.
We did the last one. Yeah.
So then this will be virtual.
This will be virtual.
Sorry, okay, so can I have a motion to adjourn? Bill?
one more for you.
That somebody can raise their hand. Can I have a second?
I can.
You can't do that twice. Okay, Jackie. All right, everyone. That's carried. Thank you very much. And go Jays, go.
Go Jays, go.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Good
everybody.
night all. Good night.
Thanks,
Everyone
everyone.
for coming.